Hey guys, what's going on? So with 70 Switch games approaching, actually now I've already reached 70 Switch games, I've probably got the same problem a lot of other collectors do, where it's you are listening to music, books, comic books, whatever. How do you organize and keep track of all this stuff? And so I went looking around the internet. I used to use something like price charting and just use their website, but it's far more convenient just to have everything on your phone nowadays. And so I went looking for the best app for that. So with like 70 freaking Switch games now in the collection and fast approaching 100, and I'm not the only collector that has this problem. People that are collectors of comic books, books, music, whatever, have this same exact problem, whether it's vinyl, CDs, whatever, right? And so how do you keep track and categorize what you own and the value of it and all those other things? So I went looking for an alternative for this. I used to keep all my games on pricecharting.com, but I don't want to go into a website every single time. So instead, what I ended up finding was an app, and that app is called GameEye. So I'm going to show you guys how to keep track of your games at home using GameEye today. So I have GameEye on the app loaded up on my phone, and this is just my Switch collection right here. I haven't added like anything else really to it, and it's gotten large enough. So the cool thing is when I just opened it, it just went and checked and pinged the internet to update the current prices or going prices for the games that I have in my collection. So every time I open it, it automatically rechecks all that stuff. The other thing too is the one flaw I would say here after doing this is when I add games, because so many Switch games don't have instruction manuals, it will just call them boxed. And a lot of Switch games just don't have that instead of complete and box. So if you have something like from Limited Run and it has the instruction manual and all that, then it will go to CIB, or in some cases, like if it's a special edition that you got and you mark it as special edition, it'll actually call it like CIB plus. So it's just like one little thing that I wish that they would kind of fix, because technically a lot of these games that don't have manuals are complete in box. So when you click on a game, you can actually sit here and you can say, like, for instance, you want to look up like what its going price for is on eBay, on Amazon, or you can click on YouTube and see if there's any YouTube videos or anything like that right away. There's actually like a little slider that you can slide and be like, I've got like the game completed to this point, or you can just like hit a little toggle and say beat, and then like a little flag will come up saying beat. If the game is, if you paid a certain price for it, when you enter the game, you can actually say what price that you ended up paying, and it will compare that to what it's worth at its current point. You can even put digital copies in here. There's actually a flag on here for digital copies. And you can even go in here and like rate, like out of a 5-star rating, like what you think like the value or the wear and tear of your game is. And it'll even do like half stars too, which is pretty cool. And there's even a section to enter like little like notes for your game. So you can actually sit here and say like, it's got a torn manual or something like that. So there's this little report tab on here, and the report tab will actually tell you what the total worth of your collection is going for right now. And it pulls off pricecharting.com and just like anything else. But what I have so far, it's showing it's worth about $2,500 or somewhere in that ballpark. So that's pretty neat. Now, so GameEye also has the ability to do wish lists. So if you've got games that you know that you want to be on your wish list and it hasn't been added yet, you can do that. And the amazing thing is there's a little bit of a social media going on here, so you can actually trade games. And I'm assuming that's trade with other GameEye users and stuff like that. So it's got kind of like a market built into it in that way. So it's fairly interesting. I just really want to keep track of my games. I really want to keep my games. I don't really want to trade them away personally, so I'm not really going to use that. And if you, for some reason, want to be one of those people who want to brag about your collection or to show people what you have, you can actually go in there and there's a share function and you can send it to social media, just make a copy link, whatever. I can send it directly to people on Discord or even through instant messaging or anything like that. It's like all the options that you would have for any other app are here on this one to be able to do that. So I haven't actually like added any of the hardware that I own yet, so like my Switch or anything like that. So you can actually sit here and add that, and you can just click on this little plus button, and this little thing comes up, and you have a few different methods here. So you can do manually select, or you can like scan the barcode for the Switch system itself if you happen to have the box, or like I don't know if the code on the bottom of the system would work. Let's give it a shot. So let's see, we're gonna do a barcode scan, And nope, it doesn't recognize it, but it probably will recognize the box. So let's go ahead and give that a try. All right, next we're going to try adding my Nintendo Switch with the barcode scanner once again. And there it is right there. So okay, we got our barcode scanner and yeah, picked it up. Nintendo Switch with red and blue Joy-Cons. That's amazing. So I did pay the two, we'll just say 300. We'll say 300. Keep it simple. And box, manual, items, I guess other works too. And so now that's in my collection. And so that should have brought the value of everything back up, right? So yeah. And it shows you here, like, once you start adding, like, games for different systems, it shows you the tally. So the tally goes up total for the Switch. The tally goes up total for Xbox, for instance. All right, so first game we're going to add to the app is Metro Exodus. I haven't added any of my Xbox games in, so there's the barcode right there. Now, one of the things I really like about this app is there's a couple other alternatives out there, but they have barcode scanners that you have to download separate from this. So this one, it's just a quick, and then it's in there. And it actually shows Metro Exodus is in the queue. And so there we go there. And we can say, I think I only paid like $15 for this. The reason I get physical games on the Xbox is for that reason. So we'll sit there, we'll say it's boxed, it's a game. I don't care about any of that right now. Confirm. And now that should be added into my collection. So let's go down to M's. And there it is right there, Metro Exodus. And this is what I think is cool, is it'll even like pull screenshots and stuff off the internet. So it's a really nice presentation. So I paid 15. It's actually apparently worth plus $3.9. So, all right. So here we have some cartridges, and we're going to see if the cartridge scanner works. So we're going to hit plus, Game Cart Scanner. Right now, it only supports Nintendo Game Boy Color, Game Gear, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, Atari, and TurboGrafx 16. So that's basically what you got to work with right there. We are going to scan a Game Boy cart first, so original Game Boy, and we're just going to see how this works. So we have Super Mario Brothers 2, 6 golden coins, and stick it under here. And it doesn't seem to be having an easy time finding it. So let's see what happens if we point that up. Oh, I don't know what the green box represents, but it did scan in Mario Brothers 2 and actually use that picture. That's interesting. So I don't remember what I paid or anything. We can just, oh, I have to say game. Okay. So there we go. So let's try Game Boy Advance. Oh, there is no Game Boy Advance option. Interesting. So the only other one we have is Super Nintendo. Game Boy Advance you'd think would be supported. So this one's a little bit more rare. This is Sky Blazer. It's not super rare, but it runs for about like $60 usually. This is actually a Sony game that came out on the Super Nintendo. It's actually not a bad game either. All right, is it going to... See, it's having a hard time here. Sky Blazer, found it. All right. It's just like, it's really wonky. I don't know why. Maybe if you're like under a lot more light than I am, maybe it'll help. I have the lights kind of turned down so the screen's not blown out in the video, so that could be part of it. All right, so it's got that in the queue. I can just say game, confirm. There we go. And now you can see it's added the Super Nintendo and Game Boy into my collection. So now we're going to do one last cart scanner game. And we're gonna do something a little weird to see what it does. So here I have a complete in-box copy of Empire Strikes Back for the original NES. So we're gonna set it to NES, and we'll see if it just reads boxes. Okay, so now we're on NES. There we go. And you got to click on it when it sees it. Thunderbirds. I don't think it's Thunderbirds. Leave. All right, let's try it one more time. Wrecking Crew. I don't think this is Wrecking Crew. All right, see if we can get it again. Okay, when the box shows up around the whole thing, actually it seems to work better from far away. Interesting. Yeah, it read that no problem. Oh, so maybe it's a distance thing. Maybe it's expecting to see something like this. I thought like being closer would help, but apparently not in this case. So yeah, it has no problem showing up like this when it's further away. So it allowed me to add a game system, but something like this. This is the NES Classic or SNES Classic controller for the Switch. And you had to mail away to get these things, or actually like order on a Nintendo. I said mail away like I'm an old person. I am an old person, but that's regardless. You had to send away for these, basically. You had to order it on a Nintendo site, and then they sent it to you directly. So I'm kind of curious if this is something I can add to my Switch collection. So let's go back in here. We're going to ignore all that. And let's do a manual select. And let's say SNES Classic, or how about online? Maybe Nintendo Online? Oh. So I can add the services themselves. I'm not seeing the controller here. Interesting. Is there a way to preambles? Manually select. Let's say Nintendo Online first. Oh, went a space too far. Nothing. All right, SNES. Oh, there it is. Once I typed in SNES, it showed up. So it is in there. And so I just add that, add item. I don't remember what this was, to be honest. I think it was like maybe $40. Maybe it was 30. If it's wrong, I'll go back and fix it later. But box, item, confirm, sweet. That's just been added. So yeah, like really obscure stuff like that's in here. So that's pretty neat. You do have to go in here, and there's like Toys to Life section and different other things. But yeah, this app is pretty cool. I really like it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this gives you some good information. I love this app. It's been working out for me. And yeah, I seriously suggest it. And really, if there's any other apps out there for other things, like whether it's music, books, whatever, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, because I'm sure other people would like to know that too. But yeah, it's really awesome. And I love the like built-in barcode scanner and the ability to scan cartridges on the older systems and stuff like that to kind of like add it to your collection. Although that needs a little bit more work. That's just still a little bit iffy from what I've seen.